AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Cassie Spazzali.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Pelicans have a new head coach. There's a report out there about LSU basketball signing another 25-year-old European player. It's being disputed by some. We'll get to that here in just a smidge. Baseball Tigers swept this weekend by Florida. Really, no matter. I mean, the LSU Tigers have to win the SEC tournament to earn a berth in a regional play, and that is certainly not something that's likely in any way. But to preview the tournament, David Dellucci, SEC Network, good enough to hang out with us here as he does every Monday during the baseball season. Luch, we appreciate you, man. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. There is a way. There is a way they can win it. They always play great in Hoover. They've stacked their pitching rotation this weekend. So, it's a little bit different this year, Matt. There's so many teams that have their postseason has already been set. All they want to do is go out there, get their guys some reps, and leave healthy. So there is a chance LSU can sneak up on some teams.
So, okay, I don't completely disagree with you on that. And Luch, we saw that the year LSU had Paul Skeens. Skeens pitched against Arkansas. I think he threw like 30 pitches in that game. So LSU wasn't interested in winning that game. They were interested in winning the College World Series. We know that it's going to be LSU and Oklahoma with Schmidt going against the Sooners. How different is Oklahoma today than the team that LSU faced in week 2 of conference play?
That's a great question because when they faced each other, I mean, that was a really close series, right? And,
Yep.
And we thought both those teams were on different trends, where Oklahoma at the time, I think they were being considered as one of the top 10 teams in the country. LSU was playing really well. And then all of a sudden, it's completely changed for both teams. Oklahoma has very talented pitching, but they can be extremely inconsistent. And they've had to play catch-up in almost every game for the weekend series. And you saw Cam Johnson at LSU. LJ Mercurius is very similar. They just walk people like crazy. So I think that in this format and on this stage, I don't see anything changing for Oklahoma. I see the pitching staff having difficulty throwing strikes if LSU can be patient, because their offense has come on really strong toward the end of the season. And now you got Schmitty that's well rested, and he's going to go over there and he's got ace stuff when he's on. I think LSU has the advantage in game 1. And then you just basically play matchups. And LSU always pulls a player or 2 or 3 in the SEC tournament that comes out of nowhere and has career weekends. And then, the goal is, like Skip Bertman way back when, win the first game, don't worry about the second. And when you get to the second, win that one. And before you know it, you're in the championship.
Yeah, it's very clear what Jay Johnson did, right? Holding William Schmidt last weekend, he recognized the Florida series was really inconsequential as far as the Tigers' postseason. They got to win the SEC tournament. So, by the way, how do you think Schmidt fares against that Oklahoma lineup?
I think it's a great matchup, and he's got the advantage. It's a big ballpark. Oklahoma doesn't hit very many home runs. They're probably the softest hitting squad in the conference. They try to get on base. They're similar to Kentucky. They try to get on base. They steal bases. That's their game. And for Smitty or any pitcher now in the Hoover Met, just pound the strike zone, especially with the weather forecast that we have. I'm not sure the wind's going to be blowing out very often. Throw strikes. It's a huge field. You've got a very good defense behind you, especially outfield that can cover some ground and run balls down. And those doubles and those homers, they turn into flyouts. So he can pitch with confidence and concentrate on pounding the strike zone. That's the key.
Tigers did not play Auburn this year. If they get past Oklahoma, and again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if they get past Oklahoma Tuesday, they would play Auburn on Wednesday. Give me the thumbnail on Auburn. Extremely
good pitching. One of the top rotations in the country. A very dependable bullpen. A very deep staff. That was my team on Rally Cap last night that I picked to win the tournament. And you complement that with a very good offense that's quietly just pounded the ball all season long. They ended their last game of the regular season. They beat Georgia 14-4, something around there. Georgia kind of took their foot off the gas pedal, but they can score runs. And if there was ever a team that could go through their pitching staff without overworking anybody, it would probably be Auburn. And that helps them a lot here because they want the teams that are moving on, especially the top 8 seeds, and that's what we project Auburn to be. They want to get every one of their arms some work, some live at-bats, some live innings, and Auburn can do that through this whole tournament and never overwork somebody.
By the way, Luch, do you have an idea of who LSU would face from Auburn? Like who? I mean, it's a Wednesday game, so they take their weekend guys and pitch them early. I mean, it's always so convoluted what you might do there.
Yeah, the key to this tournament is to be able to put guys on the mound that are very effective as weekend or weekday starters. And Auburn has, who was potentially going to be their ace early in the season and had some injuries, young man with the last name of Graves, who is working his way back into the rotation, and he is very good. A very good player, a lot to prove. They're trying to get him some innings under his belt before they get to a regional. They'll face him. I don't know how long he's going to go, but for a couple innings, it's going to be premier stuff. And then after that, it's a bullpen that's very effective. But once again, man, I mean, momentum is huge in Hoover. That's the key to winning this whole tournament is get your foot in the door in game one, get everybody some ABs, get in a rhythm, and then just take it from there. The schedules are going to be crazy. They're already crazy without weather issues, but we're supposed to have weather issues every night. That could go toward LSU's advantage because they're just used to being here and used to playing well.
Luch, I did not need to hear that, man.
The weather issues the weather issues are what I worry about because that puts me in the booth until about 2:30 in the morning. So I don't need to hear that either.
I can empathize. I'm not in the booth, but anyway. Hey, look, we're not building the railroad here. We're just talking about sports. So I'll not complain. Okay. David Dellucci is our guest. So as we just played out from LSU's perspective, they'll play Oklahoma Tuesday. If they win, they'd advance to play Auburn. If somehow LSU manages to get to Thursday, they'd face a rested Texas A&M team. And that's where we get to the scenario we talked about at the onset, Luch, where if you're A&M, really what are they playing for? And do you see an A&M team that's more looking ahead to regional supers, or are they all in to try to win this tournament?
No, I think actually A&M and University of Texas, the two Texas teams, are just trying to get out of here. Heal up and get out of here. And they're probably looking forward. Now, they want to win, but A&M is banged up, man. Their position players are banged up. Their pitching staff is banged up. They want to get their guys, Caden Sorrell, Gavin Grahovac. They want to get them some ABs, Jorian Wilson, and heal. University of Texas is the same way. You're not going to see them throw Dylan Volantis. You're not going to see them throw Harrison a whole lot. Ruger Riojas only pitched one batter over the weekend. They just want to heal up. Their fate is pretty much set. I mean, they're both of those teams. Texas is a top 8 seed. A&M highly considered a top 8 seed. This really doesn't do much for them. They'd love to win it. They'd love to get that trophy, but I think those two teams are eyeing the next weekend as being more important than Hoover.
On the top half of the bracket, who do you think makes it to the weekend?
If there was anybody that could do it, I would have to say Ole Miss is the team that you're going to have to look out for. And they can slug with anybody. They're going to play Missouri in game 1. Missouri is not the Missouri of last year, but it's a team that Ole Miss should win. And the amount of firepower in the offense early on in this tournament is probably going to carry them. If they beat Missouri, they'll play Mississippi State. Now, they've lost all 4 games this year to Mississippi State, so you have to believe that the odds are going to switch at some point. If you keep putting money on black on the roulette table, at some point it's going to hit red. It may hit red in the SEC tournament. And then Ole Miss has a really good pitching staff with Hunter Elliott. Cade Townsend didn't have the best outing this weekend, but he's been really good. And then the sophomore Taylor Rabe, over his last 2 outings, has had 27 strikeouts. So once they move forward in this tournament with this format, that's
I think we lost Luch. Man, he was right there mid-sentence. All right, well, if Luch is still there, see if we can get it back. I do want to get a pick. I think he said he picked Auburn to win the whole thing, but I would like to get a pick from him if we can. Hey, we're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You know, I've told you about Shawbills for a decade, and you know, one of the things that I say all the time is they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They keep you coming back because they treat you like family. And it really is the core of their business. Like, if they ever get a complaint, either from one of their emails they send to the customer or from a Google review or anything like that, it is part of their policy that within 2 hours, not 2 days, 2 hours, you will hear from a manager at Shawbills to try to rectify whatever that wrong was. Like, here's a 5-star Google review from Nancy Cora, who said, Shawbills very professional, serviced my car in a timely manner. I needed 4 new tires. They had the best price in town. Waiting room is clean. They have space for those that need to work on a computer. It's just thousands upon thousands of 5-star Google reviews at Shawbills because they do what I've said for years. They'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they keep you coming back because they treat you like family. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Schedule service, shop tires online. Shawbills. We keep you rolling. We got Luch back? Okay, cool. Luch, we lost you mid-sentence there. But before, and I appreciate you hopping back. Little short on time, but I think you said you picked Auburn to win it. Who do you have winning the tournament and why?
Yeah, I have Auburn because I think they're just so deep with the pitching staff, and the offense has been really good. I think that's the key. As they move forward in this tournament, their fan base is going to show up. And so the Auburn would be my first pick. Georgia would be the second. Georgia's got a great opportunity with the offense, and they're playing for something. They want to hang this award after winning the SEC outright. They want to add this award before they move forward as a top 8 seed. So Auburn first. If not them, it'd be Georgia. David
Dellucci, SEC Network. Luch, we'll look for you on TV this week, man. Have a great call.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. David Dellucci with us every Monday here during the college baseball season. It has not gone according to plan for Jay Johnson's Tigers. They need a small miracle to get through Hoover, but it starts on Tuesday with the Tigers and the Sooners. Scheduled first pitch at 8 o'clock. Ha! 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 Oh, man. Feel bad for Hunt. Be up writing those game stories for LouisianaSports.net at 2:30.
Best team in the country at 1:17 a.m.
Break out the shirts.
Here we go. That's the path. That's the actual path. Just play at 1:17 a.m. every game.
Start at 1:17
There you
a.m. go. Pels have a coach. We'll talk about him next at AFR.
After further review.
Time to get by Clegg's Nursery, y'all. Man, they got an awesome selection. Love this time of year. When the weather is beautiful, hasn't gotten oppressively hot yet, but still an awesome time to get by Clegg's, to see their full greenhouses, the beautiful plants and blooms to add that pop of color to your flower beds, your patio pots, whatever you do, get by Clegg's Nursery. Maybe you're not looking to add that pop of color. Maybe you got that taken care of. Maybe you need to keep the pests away. Maybe you got anthills popping up, or you got weed grass or weeds in your lawn and your garden. Maybe it's mosquitoes. Clegg's Nursery can help you get rid of all the unwanted pests as well. Wasp spray and everything. All you got to do is get by Clegg's. You want to make your outdoor space, your backyard, an outdoor oasis, man, Clegg's can help you do it. So get by any of the 4 locations and buy local, shop local. Bypass the big box stores and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I actually like this hire. I think Jamahl Mosley is a hell of a coach. I don't think he deserved to be fired from the Orlando Magic, but that's neither here nor there. Great job by Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver. Although, I would have liked to see my brother, Rajon Rondo, get that job. I'm just saying.
That was Kendrick Perkins. Pelicans have hired Jamahl Mosley, and I know the reaction mostly to this has been, we had Jake Madison with us from Locked On Pels in hour 1, and he described it regularly as a safe hire. And I understand that. Jamahl Mosley is not the splash hire that would have gotten a lot of attention. But the way that I would say it in contrast is, who is the candidate, who is the realistic candidate that you could have hired that would have made everybody go, yeah, like fist pumping, pounding the table, fired up. I just don't know that person exists. Like, if Michael Malone wasn't coaching North Carolina and you could hire a coach that's won an NBA title, I guess I could have been down with that for sure. Does it come with Jokic? I mean, I look at Mosley, he's 47 years old, had a short NBA career, played internationally, and as a coach, began with the Nuggets in 2005, was in Cleveland from 2010 to 2014, an assistant in Dallas from 14 to 21. Then he went to the Magic, where he became a head coach for the first time. And he got the Magic to the postseason each of the last 3 years. Very notably, this year they blew a 3-1 series lead to Detroit, and that got him fired. Okay. With the NBA, when you're talking about a head coach, I don't mean to minimize the impact of a coach. I think it is very important, obviously, how you manage minutes, how you maximize your roster, your rotations, all that matters. I'm not minimizing that in any way. I also know it to be unequivocally true that it doesn't matter if Christ Almighty descended from heaven and sat on the bench for the New Orleans Pelicans. The roster as it's constructed right now ain't winning nothing. So, unless if you have superstar players in the NBA, you're not winning anything of significance. And the way you get superstar players is through the draft. And the Pels didn't top 10 protect their pick this year because they're a bad organization. And so you're not going to add a superstar player this year. My hope is Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears continue to grow and develop to become superstar players. Certainly look like you hit on those guys. It's what we hoped Zion would become when you got him 1 overall. It's what we hoped AD would become. Now, AD became a legit All-NBA player. the rosters around him were never good enough. He was never healthy enough. And for a lot of various reasons, they never, and the Western Conference was stacked. And so they never advanced beyond a conference semis. So more even than Mosley, like I asked the question, what are you going to do to improve your roster this offseason? And you're very limited in what you can do. Pretty clearly, you got to add a big. Well, who's out there? I mean, you just look at free agents, either restricted or otherwise. Like unrestricted free agents, Porzingis is unrestricted. Nikola Vucevic is unrestricted. Mitchell Robinson, Yusuf Nurkic is unrestricted. Al Horford. I mean, does any of that get you excited? I mean, Walker Kessler is a restricted free agent. Do you go make a trade? I mean, I don't know what calls Joe Dumars is making around the NBA, what he's willing to do. It's interesting. Jake Madison was here in hour one, floated the idea of trading Herb Jones, maybe Herb Jones in a 1 for a legit, top 5 big somewhere. Okay, like that's interesting. We all love Herb. I mean, Herb's been amazing. But as your team is constructed right now, you're not winning. To get something of value, you got to give something of value. So all that to say, look, Jamahl Mosley had great defensive teams in Orlando. I mean, you can look at the numbers each year that he was there. They were number 3 in the NBA in total defense in the 23-24 season. They were number 2 in the 24-25 season. They were 11th this year in total defense. So, I mean, this is what he's coming to do, is to be a strong defensive-minded coach. Okay, I'm good with that. But what I also know is that Steve Kerr was winning championships with Golden State every year. And then Steph Curry gets hurt, and Klay Thompson gets hurt, and they're picking in the lottery. Did Steve Kerr forget how to coach? No, you need stars. I think the Pels have some good young talent. They don't have stars. Like, why did OKC win the championship? They've got a 2-time and are favored to win it again because they've got a now back-to-back NBA MVP. It ain't hard to figure out. You can be good. You can win games. If you want to compete for championships, I don't care who the coach is, you have to have star players. And the Pelicans don't. And they won't unless they pick at the top of the draft again, and they're not doing that this year. So it's hard to get excited. So if you're in the meh category, I'm with you in the meh category. Jamahl Mosley, Pelicans coach, he'll be introduced a week from Tuesday. Gail Benson is obviously out of town at the NFL owners meetings. And so they wanted to wait and do the press conference when she's back. So they'll do it next Tuesday when Jamahl Mosley will be introduced. Hey, we're running about First South Farm Credit. If you want to react to that, please. I mean, if you have a different opinion, if you're really excited about Jamahl Mosley, tell me why. I'd be curious. Email me, tweet me, text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Running about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. By the way, that's land anywhere in the lower 48. They got offices in Louisiana, in Mississippi, in Alabama, more than 40 offices to serve you. So you can work with a local loan officer who lives near you, and they can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. Buying land is not like buying a home. There are different considerations and how financing works. So work with a loan officer that has helped Louisianians buy land for their entire career. First South Farm Credit's been doing that for more than 100 years. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. All right, it is after further review. Thanks for being here with us. Remember, our Monday shows is always brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We did hear from today both Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore. The Saints had their Hall of Fame golf tournament earlier today. Last hour, we sort of focused on what was maybe the newsiest item that Loomis said. Can you play 5, please? This was what Mickey Loomis, this was the one news item. This was a short clip. Go ahead.
Do they both have contract offers from you?
Cam certainly does. Taysom does not.
So Cam has a contract offer from the Saints. Taysom Hill does not have a contract offer from the Saints. Obviously, it would stand to reason Taysom's time in New Orleans is over. Cam has an offer, but it's not what he wants, hence why he hasn't signed. And the market for Cam being very soft, obviously why he doesn't have another offer elsewhere. So we'll continue to wait and see how that one may play out. Let me not get a break, though. We'll come back and we'll dive in a little bit more what both Kellen Moore and Mickey Loomis had to say about this offseason, the schedule released last week, and more. We'll do that as we continue. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Stick around. Otterlocks in 15 minutes. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. Gorgeous, sprawling hotel property on Bluebonnet across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row. And inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge is Tallulah, a true casual upscale dining experience. If you haven't been to Tallulah, what an awesome time to check it out. A couple of weeks ago, I popped in, got to visit with Chef Reed, new executive chef at Tallulah, who they sort of gave him carte blanche to remake the menu. And, man, they have some dynamite options. Go check it out at Renaissance Baton Rouge. It's delicious. It's affordable with so many great options from chicken and lamb and beef and pork. You got to check out all the great options at Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge. It's an awesome spot to have a client lunch if you want something quick that's delicious and affordable. Tallulah inside Renaissance Baton Rouge. Maybe you want a cocktail or dinner after work. Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. Check them out. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
We'll get to Jimmy for Otterlocks here in about 15 minutes from right now. Monday was the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament, and it's annually one of those times in the offseason calendar when Saints GM Mickey Loomis and head coach Kellen Moore, or whomever the head coach may be in this instance, obviously Kellen Moore, meet with reporters to talk about the offseason and a variety of different things. This is the first time that Loomis and Moore met with reporters since the schedule has been released. And Mickey Loomis kind of reacted to the 2026 schedule.
Yeah, I always look at it like we're going to have, our requisite home games and our requisite away games and how they fall. There's not much we can do about it, so you just kind of take it in and you look at, hey, what are the logistics that may change, if you have short weeks or, in this case we have a game in Paris, so, we work out the logistics. It was a little bit of a surprise that we had an away game with the Giants prior to Paris, but that's going to work out nicely because it shortens the trip if we go immediately after the game.
So he's kind of confirming what we assumed is that they'd be in New York and then in week 6 and then would just go straight from New York to Paris for their week 7. It would help alleviate the some of the jet lag instead of coming home and then going. But the one thing that we had kind of heard was the Saints were lobbying for a Thursday game before they went to Paris, but that obviously didn't happen. From a Kellen Moore perspective, his conversation was more about the players on the field. Naturally, he's the coach. And one of the big conversations, in addition to Cam Jordan and Taysom Hill, is Alvin Kamara and what's going to happen there. I'll remind you, the Saints restructured Alvin Kamara's contract a few months ago, and they used a seldom-used loophole in the contract to restructure. And my point has been, you wouldn't do that if you didn't intend to move on from Alvin Kamara. From an on-field perspective, Kellen Moore was asked if he'd like this all rectified with Kamara before OTAs and camp.
Timelines are always great, not always allowed. And I think part of the off-season process during Phase 3 is, you're still going through a little bit of the building process. You're still finalizing some things, and so that comes with time. We understand that, during OTAs, and so most places I've been, naturally there's different things popping up in Phase 3, but we're getting close.
The component of this with Kamara is there is an underlying financial, obviously an underlying financial component to this, as Loomis talked about.
Does he currently have a decision to make on a revamped contract or something?
No, not currently, no.
So do you, with OTAs starting next week, is that a deadline to try and figure out who's on the roster? And who's
not? That creates a little bit of a deadline, yes. But it's not hard and fast.
And you mentioned resource management. Is that about the contract?
Yeah, sure, certainly. Yeah, it's about how we manage our cap, and we'll get to that.
I want to remind you that Ross Jackson wrote a piece over at LouisianaSports.net that is it's really well done, that explains the restructure that the Saints used for Alvin Kamara. And by the way, even reading that, I still don't understand it. Ross did an awesome job explaining it. I legit still don't get it. But it falls very much in the category of actions speak louder than words. You don't go to the great lengths to exercise this very seldom used restructure for nothing. You don't just do it because the guy in the corner office needs busy work, right? You're doing it with some intentionality. And so Mickey Loomis being asked there about Kamara, about the financial component, kind of tells you the story here. So I also think it's interesting, as awkward and non-committal as his answer was, to me, I read that as he has the answer. He's just not going to say it. And I think the answer is Alvin Kamara is not going to be on the New Orleans Saints. I feel that way. Remember, Scott Shanley was here with us last week, and he said the exact same thing. It was his feeling. So, I'm just a bald dork who sits here and talks on the radio and YouTube every day. That's a guy who played in the NFL and still works for the team, creating content for the team on game days, and has gone through these contract situations and knows way more about it than I do. I am going to be fascinated, though, if Kamara is not on the team, you went and paid Travis Etienne this offseason. You went and paid Travis Etienne this offseason. Thank you. Don't slide. I want my dings, dog. You know what I mean? Give me my dings. I deserve it. I worked hard to get that. Anyway, you went and paid the running back. Aside from him, you're talking about Devin Neal? Kendre Miller is the guy we just haven't talked about really at all this offseason, who's still there. He's just been out of sight, out of mind. And this is a guy who's a former third-round pick who was injured and missed the bulk of last season. He's missed the bulk of his entire career to this point. Kellen Moore was asked if they expect, he was asked about Jordan Tyson, but also asked about Kendre Miller if he expects him to be on the field for OTAs.
We'll just see. Yeah, that's next week, so we'll just see where they're at. I think all these rookies, we're kind of trying to build them up. I think the main thing is phase 3 is really a ramp up into training camp, and so that's the main focus. And so we'll see where they're at. That's going to be clearly a position to watch, because if you don't feel like you have another option after Travis Etienne, then maybe it is Alvin. But I think it's a thing where he's going into the offseason workouts having to earn his roster spot. And they have restructured his contract with the intentionality of saying, if he ain't good, if we got a better option, a younger option, he's gone. We have someone here. We've already given ourselves the financial protections to make it happen the way that it needs to happen. So I know this, it really feels uncomfortable because I kind of feel like we've had the same conversation for months about Cam and about Alvin. And there's just been no development, at least not publicly. So I don't know that there's much more to say. We'll watch and see how it plays out through this offseason, but it feels like the path the ground has been laid for what the Saints are inevitably going to do, which is obviously Taysom Hill does not have an offer. It certainly feels like Alvin's restructure has opened the door for him to be out. They've offered Cam a contract, but it's not financially what Cam wants, so this feels like a take it or leave it, because we've just seen this with New Orleans over the years. When it comes to free agents, no matter who they are in contracts, they have their number, and it's odd because as fiscally irresponsible as they've been with restructures and dead money over the past decade, when it comes to signing or re-signing their players and free agents, they have a number, they don't go over it. Mark Ingram went to
went to the Ravens over a matter of $200,000, which is absurd. But that's how hard and fast they are. So I don't think the Saints are going up on their offer to Cam. It's just a matter of, are you going to take this? Are you going to retire? Or will someone give you a deal you want? And it sure doesn't feel like anyone's giving him the deal he wants. So that's the one that feels the most up in the air to me. Follow. Saints will hit the field for OTAs coming up here shortly. At the end of May and then into June, they'll have OTAs. They'll get toward minicamp and then a little off time in July until they hit training camp at the end of July. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the Saints, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Y'all get on by. You can see our friends over at Rouse's, any Rouse's location. Remember, every single week, they always have great deals on groceries. So if you're out grocery shopping, make sure you get by Rouse's.com. You can see the weekly ad at Rouse's.com. And they do a really good job of posting all the deals on their social media as well. Maybe you're heading home tonight. You're looking for dinner. You can always remember the hot bar menu. That's every day of the week. They have awesome hot bar options. Like today, Monday, is smothered pork chops with gravy and mac and cheese, red beans and rice and sausage, dirty rice, lima beans and sausage and cobbler. I mean, they got great hot bar options every day of the week for lunch or for dinner, for you, for the whole family. Pop on in, grab and go. It's Rouse's. 76 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, points in between. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all. We're not going to final break of the show. Come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. It's been a really good show. If you missed anything, Jake Madison was here in hour one reacting to the Pels hiring Jamahl Mosley. We had Adam Rittenberg here from ESPN.com. He was out at Big Ten meetings in California. David Dellucci just a bit ago. At the top of hour two, we discussed the very real possibility of Stephen Milam returning for a senior season, why that might actually be a realistic possibility. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. So book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. All right, final break. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks to wrap up the show next. Don't you move.
AFR.
If you're buying or selling your home, you need Darren James. Give you Darren's cell. Do it right now. Write it down. Punch it in your phone. 335-7666. 335-7666. 335-7666 or agent225.com. Y'all, if you're thinking of selling your home, most people think, I'll do it myself. Save on agents' commissions. I've told you this for years. 72% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. 3 out of 4. For a variety of reasons. Save yourself the time, the money, the aggravation. Get it right the first time. So you're going to hire a realtor. Who are you going to hire? Your friend Susan, your cousin Mark, whoever it may be. How about you hire the realtor that literally sells more homes than anyone? Gives an exceptional customer service experience and gets results. It's Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Wrap up the show the same way every day. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Ada, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
You had the golf guy, Rye, winning the whole thing, right? Ray, what was his name? I never even heard of that guy.
No, nobody did. The books cleaned house on that one.
No kidding.
So, yeah. Yes, indeed.
Man.
Yes, indeed. And so, but he won it, man. Everybody was struggling and everybody was complaining about the pin placements and then the wind on Saturday in the afternoon. I mean, he lit it up on the back nine, and he started off with an eagle on 9, and so he won it. So fair and square. So a lot of the PGA, man. It seems like it's just the the bastard child of the majors, man. They just get beat up no matter what they do. It's too easy. It's too hard. I don't know. It seems that they move it around. You know, that nobody is pleased when it comes to the PGA. So anyway, except Aaron Ryan. So he can handle it. Let's get to the picks.
He's a major champion, Yemen. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. Okay, OKC. I've battled with this one, and I was kind of leaning towards San Antonio earlier, but man, I'm gonna let the old school, what is paid more dividends in the postseason than anything, and that is postseason experience, seasoning in there. And OKC has massive experience advantage compared to San Antonio. So they also get Jalen Williams back, who was hurt in Game 2 of their first round of matchups. So he's missed the last 6. They have not lost a game in the playoffs. They're 8-0. They're 6-2 against the spread. It's a little bit higher than I like to lay, but it's not my favorite pick. But just to release a pick, I'm taking Oklahoma City minus 6.5.
Okay. OKC minus 6.5. And you got 3 on the diamond?
Yep. Phillies, first of all, they were such a disappointment this year. They fired their manager. Don Mattingly has stepped in. They have won 4 in a row. They've won 7 of 8, and all of a sudden showing signs of getting back into it. Maybe before they really get hot, we're going to a soft line here at home. Philly minus 118 against the Reds. So go back to the well with that.
That one, by the way, is in game. They're in the bottom of the first. The Phillies have a runner on second with nobody out. So the in-game money line is minus $1.73. So
I would lay off.
Yeah, if you missed it, you missed it. Unless if Cincy manages to get out of this without allowing a run.
In the words of my friend, you missed it, you missed it. There you go, Matthew. Washington over 10. Mets a little momentum, as you might know, with their 2-out, 3-run homer to tie it in the bottom of the 9th against the Yankees. They win it in extras, showing the little signs. We love the Washington Nationals. Talked about them again. Atlanta Braves, the highest scoring team in baseball. Washington is number 2. We're going to take the Nationals over 10, although these totals are starting to get a little bit high, so I'm not sure how much longer we're going to ride it. But until it doesn't hit, we're going to take the Nationals over 10.
By the way, that one, if you grab it now, is it's fluctuating as their top one right now. It's been fluctuating 9.5, 10.5. I just grabbed it at 9.5. If you want to end game it, you can. If you're on the app now, you can play with it a little bit, but you might be able to get a better number than 10.
The official term is toggling. So let's go on to.
Excuse me.
I'm joking. It's a JK. All right, Boston.
It's a JK.
minus 111. Let the Fighting Musos. Hey, look, Sonny Gray. We know about him. Bandy boy. He's he's a talented pitcher. Nobody's ever going to take that away from him. But he's kind of in form right now. So he's been pitching pretty good lately. They're winning his starts as of late. We're going to take Sonny Gray at a very, very soft price at minus 111.
All right, so three plays on the diamond, and then OKC laying the 6.5 tonight in Game 1 against San Antonio. So the Thunder minus 6.5. You got the Phillies, which I'm looking at the in-game. Let's see, 2 on, nobody out. Yeah, that's getting a little outrageous right now. But if you want to try it, if you want to watch it, maybe live bet, you can. Mets Nationals over 10, and then if you toggle, you might be able to get a better number. And then the Red Sox on the money line laying minus $1.11. All right, Otter, where are you tomorrow?
We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson.
All right, catch Ott and Hanny every weekday from 11 to 1 tomorrow at Mike Anderson's. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks, man. We appreciate it. Always love reminding you about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Graduation in the rearview mirror, Mother's Day in the rearview mirror. Maybe you're thinking of popping the question. Good time of the year for that. Popping the question. Thinking of popping the question. Get by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They'll treat you great. Beautiful diamond. They'll never pressure you into the purchase. You're doing something that's a sign, a symbol of your love and affection and devotion and commitment forever. Something that'll be passed through your family for generations. Do it right. Go to Lee Michaels. lmfj.com is the website. 9 locations in all. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, You can shop them online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Yes! It's a great time to get engaged. Cassie got engaged over the weekend. How about it? Let's go. What a devastating decision for you, Cassie. Don't do it. It's a bad life choice. Don't do that. Don't get married.
Why?
I was just kidding. I was just being completely facetious. Congratulations. Did you know that Adam was proposing?
I was a little suspicious, but I convinced myself that he wasn't doing it. So
Why?
I was still surprised.
Why did you?
I didn't want to ruin it.
He also proposed in the middle of the street between North Stadium, between Tiger Stadium and the PMAC. And I'm like, you're lucky there wasn't like a school bus coming down North Stadium at that time.
Yeah, but graduation was going on, so the streets were closed. And
That's
it was fine.
Glad that worked out. Well, congratulations, Cassie. We're very excited for you and Adam. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Muse, Cassie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Getting on down the road. Remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. But their number one product is always customer satisfaction. It's not lip service, man. You talk to Brandon and Adrian Holly, you will get it. Have one conversation, and you'll get it. The integrity, the responsibility they feel when you invite their business, their brand, their name into your home to do work at your home, your family, they take that commitment, that responsibility very seriously. So, you want to get the best windows, the best customer service, lifetime transferable warranty, and owners that's their commitment is they'd spend their last dollar to make their customers happy. You want Relief Windows. They'll never be the cheapest, but they will always be the best. It's Relief Windows. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com.